$100,000 VRC Derby. A star-studded lineup is entered for the 3-year-old classic with Bart Cummings, Bo Zam and Kiwi Our Poetic Prince, the early favourites. Dan Malicki was at track work this morning to watch the stars prepare.
Brilliant New Zealand 3-year-old Our Poetic Prince has no doubt been the unluckiest horse of the spring, losing the Caulfield Guineas on a controversial protest and then bumping into champion Rubiton in the Cox Plate last Saturday. But the colt's efforts have been first class.
I think they saw the best of him last week too. I think probably only a little lack of experience bet the horse in the Cox Plate, and a very good horse in Rubiton. But you know, that was a big run, and I'm sure he'll give a good account of himself on Saturday.
Cup's king Bart Cummings will start 2 runners in the Derby. Equal favourite Bo Zam and the smart Omnicore. But it's Bo Zam that impresses the master trainer the most.
Bo Zam's proved up to date. He's a weight for age winner, Group 1 winner, and I think he's a bit unlucky not to have won possibly the Caulfield Cup, so he's certainly proven the best up to date.
Whilst Our Poetic Prince and Bo Zam have been in the limelight, Adelaide stayer Royal Centurion only attracted attention after his devastating win in the Geelong Derby trial last Wednesday. But the temperamental colt wasn't on his best behaviour at Geelong and had to trial in front of the stewards at Flemington this morning. Colin Hayes trains the colt, and he will also saddle up the forgotten horse of the Derby, Carpstad. But stable jockey Michael Clark is likely to ride Royal Centurion on Saturday.
I feel he's got a great chance in the Derby because he stays very well and he's a very tough horse. And as I said, he hasn't had a lot of racing, this horse. He's only had 5 starts and he's won 3 of those. And I'm sure, you know, he can only improve.
Day, of course, and the snags smell really good at the moment.
I'll bet they do. Well, of course, it is a social morning, but the important thing, of course, is watching the horses go around. Have you seen any go around yet?
Seen lots of them. In fact, all the top horses have worked already, Tim. But as you say, it's a social morning and also an important race morning. So we combine both of them on this Breakfast with the Stars. But the top horses have been here. The Cup favourite was here, Rosedale. He worked very, very early. Lots of the New Zealanders. Marie Linden, who's going to become the first woman to ride in the Cup, she worked here this morning with Argonaut Style. So we've seen some very good pointers. And also Mick Dittman's been here today. Mick's riding the horse that has been the favourite for the Cup all the way through Regimental March, is currently the 2nd favourite. Mick, you won a Melbourne Cup in 1982 on Gourners Lane. What was that feeling like?
It's great, Bruce. There's no feeling like it in the world.
This horse, Regimental March, you haven't actually ridden him this week. You're going to ride him in the Dalgety on Saturday. What do you know about him?
Well, I've only ridden him the once, and that was in the Moonee Valley Cup. You know, I was very impressed with his performance. You know, all his runs have been... he's been running on very strongly at the finish, so he gives the impression that the 2 miles is going to be to his liking.
So there's a bit of a tip, Regimental March for the Cup. Mick, what about for a jockey, the Melbourne Cup? Is it something special? I know for a commentator, the nerves really get up high. Is it the same for a jockey?
It is, yeah. You know, the adrenaline gets flowing, and there's so many people lined up along that raceway on the way out, and more so on the way back in, because it's so much better if you can get past the post first. You know, everybody's cheering and singing out. You know, it's a great feeling, really.
And what about a morning like this morning, where you come out here, normally you're on your own, there might be a couple of press guys, and you're surrounded by people. What's that like?
Yeah, well, just for myself, you know, I don't socialise a great deal, and I usually come to the track and do them at work, and I'm back home at 6:30, 7:15. But these type of mornings you get very interested and chat to everybody. You know, it's a great feeling. It's good.
Tim, of course, Mick's the stable rider for Tommy Smith, and Tommy's having a pretty lean time this year. Mick, he really hasn't got a Melbourne Cup horse, has he?
No, we haven't had a stayer, you know, far back as six months ago. You know, it's been very quiet. But, you know, you have those years. We've got a lot of young horses coming through, and we've just got to wait till they get along and get, you know, start showing form.
Yeah, Bruce, I guess horses like Agent Provocative would have to come into contention now after yesterday.
Well, the interesting thing with Agent Provocative is that Harry White will now ride him, Tim, so he comes right in. Harry's won 4 Melbourne Cups, which is the record, along with Bobby Lewis, so I think Agent Provocative's got a great chance. Big win in the Werribee Cup. George Hanlon's won 3. Harry White's won 4, so between them, they've won 7 Melbourne Cups.
Yeah, did Cossack Warrior work this morning?
He worked very well, exceptionally well. He ran his last 600 in about 37.5. I was talking to Michael Clark about 10 minutes ago. He won the Cup last year. He thinks the horse is underrated. He expects him to run a terrific race.
Yeah, I wonder who Mick would feel would be the biggest danger to him.
It's a good question. What do you think, Mick, if you weren't riding Regimental March?
Well, you know, I like Rosedale's run in the Moonee Valley Cup. You know, it was a good, strong finish by him, and he's the type of horse that can only improve from the run. And because he's got a master trainer in Bart Cummings, and He's won over a distance, not the 2 mile, but he's won over 2,800 metres, I think. Very smart horse, Rosedale. He's got to be a great chance in the Cup.
That horse, Rosedale's owned by Nelson Bunker Hunt, of course, one of the biggest owners of silver in the world. He's not coming across, Tim, but Bart tried to talk him into it. They're trying to fly Bunker Hunt's colours out here tomorrow so that Rosedale can run in his colours and not Bart's colours. So I think he must be a big chance.
All right, thank you both. Lovely to talk to you, and have a good ride in the Cup, Nick.
Thank you very much, Tim.
Mick Dittman and Bruce McAvaney there.
But celebrations lost their edge as police launched Operation Each Way, a road blitz to trap drinking drivers. It got underway today in the build-up to Saturday's big Derby meeting.
Flemington Racecourse, the scene for this morning's Breakfast with the Stars, an annual prelude to the biggest week of horse racing, the Melbourne Cup Carnival. A huge crowd turned out to see the Stars put through their final preliminaries for the big races over the next week. Although champagne and a barbecue at 6 o'clock in the morning isn't everyone's idea of breakfast, the partying spectators kicked on for hours. Melbourne Cup fever was in the air. An aura of excitement existed as the race that stops a nation draws within 5 days. In fact, it was a small-scale preview of what is to come on that first Tuesday in November. The fashions, the laughter, the champers and, most importantly, the horses. Some of the best from Australia and over the Tasman will be vying for the classics. The Melbourne Cup is still 5 days away, but already the festivities are in full swing. And don't forget, Network 10 has a live and exclusive coverage of the Melbourne Cup Carnival, getting underway with Derby Day on Saturday. This is Dan Malicki with Breakfast with the Stars for Eyewitness News.